Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nation's organization's main fan page, where I do a daily live stream in regards to the divination cards that are drawn in the morning. Yeah, so we get to have a spiritual conversation about those cards and just about anything else the people in the live chat want to talk about, pretty much. So welcome. Today is Saturday, January 19th. Almost a day ahead it was. Yeah, we don't want to move really quickly past through Saturday, do we? Take our time, enjoy the day, right? That's what I say. So I'm broadcasting here from Star Nations Academy, which is on the same property as my home, and it's about maybe not quite a block, 3/4 of a block from the main house, and it's a beautiful sunny day when you're looking out the window. We woke up to, I think it was 4 degrees above zero this morning. And our high is going to be 17 degrees. And we got quite a little bit of a breeze, so the wind chill is quite cold. Now, this is our typical January weather, other than maybe the temperature is a little warm. Usually we're well below zero by now, but I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. And yeah, the wind is chilly though. The wind is the one that makes you cold here. So yeah, we're looking out. In fact, I was kind of mesmerized for a moment with the breeze, and it just snowed yesterday. We got probably maybe 2.5 inches of snow, very light, fluffy snow. And so today with the breeze, the wind, it's taking it off the branches and the trees. And so I was looking out, waiting for the time to start the broadcast. And I was looking out the door window, and the snow was getting blown off from the branches, and looking at it toward the sunlight, it was all sparkly. One of the things I just love about winter is to see that. And it's even more fun when you're walking in it, walking, approaching it, and walking through it. I love that. So who's in the chat? Rochelle's here. Rochelle, good afternoon, Rochelle. I saw that. She said, I paid my money for the drum making event in May. Yes, I saw that. I saw the message come through. Thank you so much. And I look forward to assisting you in creating your sacred drum. Yeah, that's May 18th. I believe that's the Saturday. And we're going to be doing this drum making workshop in Lyons, Michigan, at my sister's home, Minnie Kansman. And I can work with about 12 people at a time. And so that is the maximum. And I think we're a little bit more than halfway to the maximum. So if you want to join us, please go to our website at starnations.org and click on the Academy page, and you'll see that the class listed and tells you all about it and how to register and all of that. So yeah, thanks, Rochelle. I appreciate it. And like I said, I can't wait to see you. We haven't seen each other in a while. And Julie's here too. Julie Shumway Hill. Always good to see you in the chat. Thanks for being here on a Saturday afternoon. You know, and really that I do appreciate that, because I know weekends are valuable, right? They're valuable in many different ways. And I know that Saturdays for a lot of people are family days. And so you get to do stuff with your family, whether it's birthday celebrations or just getting together for a meal, that kind of stuff, right? So I appreciate the time that you take to be here with me. Yeah, Sundays for me are a little bit like that, because it's a little slower paced around my house usually. Saturdays are just like any other day of the week. And with Paul home on Saturday, sometimes it adds a little bit more to the noise level between him and George, right? George the puppy. And George is with Paul right now, so I'll be quiet here in the studio. George is, of course, George has been pretty quiet lately, hasn't he? He hasn't been barking or snoring. He's with Paul. They're out running around and getting some exercise. Paul took him up to Fort McCoy, and there's huge fields there that he can run off lead. And so Paul and he are getting some exercise done. Yeah. Hey, it looks like Stephanie's here. Thank you, Stephanie, for doing the posts about the magazine. Appreciate that. She's usually really, really on top of things. Like we're talking about something and we're wondering or questioning something, more information, and pretty soon in pops a post about where to get more information, Wikipedia or something like that. So thank you, Stephanie. So I'm going to get to the cards in just a second. We're going to share and like, and so I'm going to find our broadcast here. Here we are. There we are. I want to make sure it's the right one. And I'm going to share it to my news feed, just so that my friends know that I'm live streaming. Whoops. The quick keys come up only when you spell them correctly. Right now, and then please join me. There we go. And we'll post that there. Excellent. And if you've shared with me and liked it, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you, Rochelle. Almost every show I explain why we ask for our live audience to do the like and the share. And actually, if you're watching the recorded video, if you would please like and share, that would be appreciated too. And the reason why we ask is because, Facebook changes quite a bit. In fact, they just went through a big update, and now we have to kind of learn how to do things differently again. But there is one constant, and that constant is how Facebook likes. It likes when we like a post or a video. And it likes when we share, and it likes when we comment. And what that means is that that video or that post is seen more often in the news feed. And for me, that means that we're reaching more souls who are looking for specific information, right, about their soul growth. And so it just helps them to find us a little bit easier. That if they resonate with us, then they found a community that offers spiritual information, right, for their daily life. And so anyway, it's kind of like a civic duty for light workers and energy workers, right? That's how I think of it. So anyway, thank you for sharing, Rochelle. I appreciate it. So today's card draw, it looks like we're continuing the theme that Spirit has given to us about reflecting, right, and waiting for important information to come, and that reflection work, to do is to dive a little bit deeper into our emotions and see what needs to be healed, what floats to the surface, or what is the synchronicities, right, and signs, is to take a look at those things that are floating to the surface and actually look at whether to need to release them or to heal them, that kind of stuff, right? So today, it's very interesting because here's the first card that we got. And this is the Earth Guardian. And he's been around before. This being, I should say, has been around several times in the card draws. And it says, stay rooted and grounded. Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. Right? And as we look at the card and the artwork, that he's got this green cloak on, and they thinking of it as, the green of Grandmother Earth, right? But it's also that green, and that especially that light colored green in the background is reminds me of the healing color. The healing color. It's a heart chakra color. Those different shades of green. Yeah. And that we always talk about his staff too, which at the very top, if you take a look at it, let's see if we can get it in the camera shot here, is a dream catcher with green feathers hanging off from it. And it looks like he has a green crystal or gem at his third eye. Could be, I don't know, it could be an emerald, it could be a peridot, it could be, what's another green color? Fluorite. Another light color green. Right? And he's got his hand over his heart or his heart chakra. And when I was rereading the information about this particular card, that the being depicted in the card is part human being, and the other part is elemental. And so doesn't necessarily carry a gender, an essence of the gender. Yeah. I like the color of his wings too. Or the being's wings. Let's see. And I don't know if you notice, I notice on his hands and on his arms, he's got symbols like tattoos, but they're white. Yeah. And it looks like to me, it could be light language. That's what it looks like to me. It does. There's one that could be an astrology symbol, glyph. But to me, it looks more like some of that cave art that the artist uses in some of her other drawings, other cards. Light language. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Anne's here. Hi, Anne. Anne Keene. Thank you for being here. So good to have you here, Anne. Rochelle says, love his hair and grounded this morning. Yay. That was going to be one of my questions, Rochelle, is that those that are in the live chat, if you're looking at the recorded video, is like, did you do your grounding today? We've talked about this almost every show. And just a gentle reminder that if you haven't done your grounding to Grandmother Earth, is just to take a moment to do that. Because one of the things that, depending on the modality or the technique that you use to ground, it will last about 12 hours, depending on what you ingest through food, through the beverage, music that you listen to, shows that you watch on television or movies. Anything that's a lower vibration will weaken the field, and you have to renew it more often then, right? Yeah. So the Earth Guardian. Let's see what Kyle Gray, who is the author of this deck, Angels and Ancestors. I'll show you the front of the book here. This is the deck that we're still using. And let's see what Kyle has to say about the Earth Guardian. Earth Guardian. It says, stay rooted and grounded. Take time to connect deeply with the energy of the earth so that you can feel supported and make decisions based on strength and integrity. You're also calmer. You're much calmer. It's not that you don't have emotions. It's just that the emotions aren't like on a roller coaster, right? That you take in the information, seen and unseen, and you're not quite as knocked off balance by it, right? In case it is shocking, is that you're more stable, you're calmer. You can take in the information And at a soul level, you are helping your mental mind, literally, to take in the information, right? And so we can access our gifts easier, and we can rely on our intuition so much more, and which builds our self-confidence, right? And trust in ourselves. So that, the benefits of grounding, right? All right. Kyle says that the Earth Guardian represents the angels of Earth who bring the medicine of feeling grounded and strong. They are the protectors of the land and the planet and can help you connect with your mission here and how you can support the evolution of the planet. So when we're grounded and connected to Grandmother Earth, that stability, that support that she gives us, right? If you're wondering what your mission is here, what your soul contract, what your gifts are, they come through in a way that you recognize them, okay? And understand that when you're applying them, your gifts, is that you can feel your true emotions around them. Usually it's about happiness and joyfulness when you're using your gifts. It feels good. It feels good when we're applying them to a situation or an event. And I don't know, for me, it makes me feel good that when I'm grounded, my environment is around me is stable as well. So when you're grounded, you don't have the kind of chaos that can ensue when you are ungrounded, right? When you're kind of flighty. Yeah. And being grounded really means about how your energy, your medicine is connected down into the earth, right? And so and Polly Jones is our expert in chakras. But this I know is that when we're grounded, all of our chakras are grounded to Grandmother Earth. Our entire being is. And so that lends to the stability. Mm-hmm. All right. He says that it's important for you to take a grounded approach to your current situation. If you're rushing ahead or making decisions based on your more fearful responses, you'll miss out on the growth that you deserve. And so if we're in that lull, in that integration time, right? And that we're grounded and we're quiet and we're listening to our spiritual team, listening to the Creator on that important information that's going to be here or is already here for some of you, and that you can take it in its fullness, right? Yeah, tomorrow is the eclipse, right? I think so, on the 20th. And so really right now we are in the early energies of that eclipse. Even though it's not happening yet, those who are very sensitive to that kind of energy can already feel it. And yeah, it can help us in the letting go of whatever it is that we've outgrown and it no longer supports us. And it helps to make room for what's coming in next. And so I really think that this is the reason why Spirit has been giving us the last, 3 or 4 cards, right? And this one is when we're grounded, we can really take in the energy, the information in a way that we're better to absorb it. Does that make sense? Especially on the eve of this eclipse. Now wait till you see the next card. Hold on, let me finish this one. And so he goes on to say that take some time to calm down and get grounded before proceeding further. Breathe, relax, and connect with your center. Then consider what to do. It's important to plant seeds that are going to grow into something beautiful rather than turn into a weed that you have to deal with later. And we were talking a lot yesterday about our emotions and diving deep, that we're in this integration time, and where it's a time that we can actually reflect on a life lesson or wisdom that we just gained. And we can actually go deeper into it by going into our emotions and how we feel about it, and what that actually event, that wisdom brings to the surface in maybe something that was in the past, right? And that we can bring it to the surface and we can look at it and we can make the decision to heal it if we choose to. It felt like it was something that was pretty intense, and that whatever happened in the past. And so allowing it to float to the surface, or rather to open that door, right, to something that you repressed or suppressed a long time ago, that you have the opportunity to look at it now in a different energy field than what you were back then, right? Yeah. And so with today's is that when we're grounded, we're in a position that we're much more stable to do that. And we're stable to bring in and take in the information that is coming, that is here, that unseen, right? The unseen. All right, so here's the second card. This is Grandfather Sky. Now, Grandfather Sky, I think this is his second or third time with us in a week. Grandfather Sky. And this one says, trust in the unknown. Trust in the unknown. Yeah, I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so you can see his face. Yeah. You see the lightning around him? The clouds building in the background, but you also see the stars. Grandfather Sky. And with the eagle. Now, from a Native American point of view, the eagle is revered, honored, highly respected for a lot of reasons. But one of those reasons is because it flies the highest and the closest to the Creator. And so when the eagle takes our prayers, our requests up to the Creator, right? So it's kind of like, he's kind of like the emissary between us and the Creator. He or she, eagle medicine. And so the eagle has a certain perspective, point of view. It can see a great deal and really well from a distance. Keen eyesight, right? So maybe it's also helping us to be able to see either the wisdom that we just gained from a higher perspective, and really understand the broad picture of it, right, as well. And also of the healing of that old trauma, emotional trauma that we may have experienced, and it's coming to the surface, is that if you call on your spiritual team and ask, to be able to see it from an eagle's perspective, so that you get see it with much more clarity from a higher perspective. Like, why did that happen to me? Why would I want to put myself through something like that? And maybe you can get the information about why from a higher perspective and understanding. of it. And so we can use this integration time to go deeper and to understand more about ourselves and more about our mission here. Let's see what Kyle says about Father Sky. We call him Grandfather Sky. It says, trust in the unknown. The message, trust that your path is unfolding exactly as it needs to. You have a personal relationship with the Great Father. Know that he's lovingly leading you forward. Lovingly leading you forward. And when I call in the directions and I call to Grandfather Sky, I ask that he illuminate our path with the sun, the moon, and the stars as we're moving forward, so that our path is illuminated. And we don't know everything. We're two-legged. We're short-sighted sometimes in our physical body, in the physical world. We're short-sighted, especially when we're not, tapping into our own intuition, or we don't trust our own intuition. If we're not grounded. Yeah. Julie Hedges is here. Hello, Julie. She said, shared and watching from the Tarot Journey. Hey, good to have you here. It's always good to have you here. And she's saying, what a valuable reading. Yeah, thank you. These are the cards that jumped out of the deck this morning. And it didn't take long. I've maybe shuffled twice, and on the third time, these two cards jumped out of the deck. And the Earth Guardian landed face up, and the Father Sky card landed face down. And when I turned it over, I thought, trust in the unknown. The card landed face down. Trust in the unknown. All right, so Kyle goes on to say that Father Sky personifies your relationship with the masculine energies of the divine, and possibly a very powerful male or father figure too. So, when I read that part, because that sentence kind of jumped out at me, is that we all carry both the divine male and the divine female energies within us, right? And so maybe it is either feeling more comfortable with the divine male, or it's about having more of a balance between the two, because that's what we're striving for here in this school of polarity we call Earth, is that balance, the balance between the divine male and divine female, the balance between our mental thoughts and our emotions. Yeah. And so when we get to that point, or when we sense that balance within ourselves, we're actually living our life from our high heart, which means that we're using our mental thoughts, our mental mind, and also our heart and our emotions to live our life and to see our world, right? Yeah. And he also says that you are a co-creator of your life, and every thought, feeling, intention, and emotion you have is creating the road ahead. And so sometimes we don't see everything. We don't know what's around the corner. But with Grandfather Sky illuminating our path, it's a possibility that we might be able to see a little bit more once we get around the corner. Right? It says, when this card appears, you're being guided to step back and get out of your own way, because there is a greater power that's not only around you, but within you. And Father Sky is creating the best experience imaginable for you. Accepting this will allow miraculous energy to come into your life. So see things from the higher perspective, like the eagle on the card. Yeah. So as we're doing our reflection, We're taking a look at our emotions, looking at what is kind of coming to the surface, possibly from an old trauma that could be blocking or interfering with um, the wisdom that you just gained, right? Blocking your access, more access, I should say, to your gifts or to your intuition. Yeah. And so when you're diving deep, because that we had both the water guardian and the air guardian this week too, in the last couple of days. And so it's tapping into that energy to really understand the wisdom that you gained, that life lesson that you gained by healing whatever that is for you. And with these two cards today, they're letting us know, Spirit's letting us know that when we're grounded and we're stable, we can receive that information in its fullness. And Father Sky is available to us, right? To trust in that unknown. And to illuminate our path for us. And so, even when you're looking at these two cards, you're looking at the earth and the sky. And we are the divine child of this, as two-leggeds. The divine child, creating the Holy Trinity right here on earth. That's how the unity breath goes, right? Julie, could you, I know this is kind of on the fly, Julie Hedges, if you could, because the eclipse is tomorrow, correct? The eclipse, January 20th. And so we're in the early energies of that. And that it might be helpful to those in the live chat and actually, even if they're looking at the recorded, is what is the energy of an eclipse? What does it do for us in a positive way? Because there's a lot of sometimes, especially online, there when you go to YouTube and you're looking at stuff, sometimes the readers will bring in the more negative aspect, and I understand they're trying to help us get ready for it, prepare for it. But I was wondering, what is the positive aspect of an eclipse? And I know that every eclipse is different, depending on where in the astrology in the sky it's happening. But in general, what does an eclipse do for us in a positive way? I know I might be asking you to type, a page and a half, but only if you can do it in a short way, that would be great. It takes a little bit. It takes about 15 seconds for her to, because we have a 15-second delay, both when you hear something that I say and when you put something into the chat. It takes, in the studio, it takes me another 15 seconds. So we'll talk about a little something else while Julie is either telling us yes and adding information, or saying, no, I can't do that because there's so much. But this is to me, this is the information that's important for us to know about today is to be grounded so that we can receive in its fullness the information that is coming to us. And Grandfather Sky is available to help us with that, to trust in the unknown. And really, it's really about trusting in ourselves, right? Julie is saying the lunar eclipse is an ending or a release. Like the full moon mother, she's ready to give birth, releasing her gift into the world. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. And so, if you are looking at something to release, maybe it is that emotional trauma from the past, or maybe it's a mental trauma that is caused by a belief system. We're in the energy of releasing and ending a cycle. You know, um, it's a good way to disrupt that. Do you remember we even had ancestral patterns to end ancestral patterns, and so we're in the energy to be able to do that. Spirit is offering us that opportunity. And so if we're grounded, oh my God, you guys, there's a lot we can do in this healing. Julie is saying lunar eclipse in Leo, January 20th, 21st. Aha. So we definitely are in the early energies of it. Yep. Rochelle's saying thank you to Julie. I know. Isn't it great that Julie showed up? Thank you for all the help, Julie. She says that lunar eclipse, Ellie, lunar eclipse in Leo is releasing anything that does not serve your heart. Does not serve your heart. Okay. So if we're looking for that balance between our mental mind and our heart, our emotions, right? Looking for that balance to live and lead our life from our high heart. Yeah. And so when we do that healing work, especially around the heart, we're removing the interference, the blocks, the debris, so that we can have more access to our gifts and to our intuition. And our intuition is fueled by our heart, right? Our emotions are our GPS. Julie's going on to say that release anything that blocks you from true rulership, Leo, of the heart. The light bulb goes on, right? And she goes on to say that Leo is the king, rules the heart and the high heart. Yep. Perfect. This is the intention every morning when I do the card draw. It doesn't matter what deck we're using, is that I call in my entire team and I ask them to please assist by showing me what's the most important energy to know about today, that's flowing today for our highest good and the highest good of all. And especially that we can share with others, right? So, so we're getting helped out big time here. There we go. These two are assisting us today. And perhaps it's getting us prepared for the full lunar eclipse so that we're in a position in all of our bodies to tap into that energy of the releasing, the healing, the ending of those cycles, ending of something that no longer supports you, getting us prepared so that we're stable when we're going through this, right? We're strong, grounded. So it's really important. Julie is saying, I have a lunar eclipse reading offer on my Tarot Journey page. If anyone is interested in additional heart work. Oh, perfect, Julie. So what we need to do is get the link to your page. Stephanie, I don't know if Stephanie's still in the chat or not. Maybe she can put that link up for us. If not right now, we can do it after the broadcast is done. Julie, she goes, I'm doing it for myself too. See, when we walk or talk, don't we, Julie? Yeah. So as a suggestion is to be grounded. If you haven't, to be grounded today and tomorrow and Monday, right? To do your grounding. And if you please remember, twice a day, do morning and evening. And that way, whatever spirit is willing to help you with and be there for you, you're able to receive it in its fullness. In its fullness. Yeah, it's good stuff. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. She put, sorry, she put her links in there for soul empowerment and also for her Facebook page. Yeah. Okay. She says, got to do my own work. Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. Um, so it's about 1:45 or so. I wanted to I wanted to share with you something, a dream that I had, and I had promised you the other day about it. Hey, George is here. That means Paul's here too. George can't drive yet. He's got a chauffeur. Yeah, there he is. So I wanted to share something with you. Thank you, Paul. I forgot my tea in the car. Hey, Georgie. Okay, so I wanted to share something with you that a dream that I had. And this dream I had, it was on I think it was on the 14th. I have to look at a calendar. I think it was like right on the 14th. It was one of those early morning dreams. One of those early morning dreams, kind of between awake and asleep, and I had in this dream, Paul and I were like I want to say like on a vacation. We were traveling. And now of all places, we were someplace where it was snowy, and more than just a couple of inches of snow. And as we drove up to this building, it looked kind of like a chalet. And the closer I got to it, it looked more like a castle, a small castle, not a huge one, not like Buckingham Palace size, but smaller, right? Like, and it was stone. It was stone. And when we pulled up, the people there knew us. I didn't know them, but they knew us, and they were very happy to see us and welcomed us. And we were there for a visit. Well, it started to snow, and it seemed like we were going to get snowed in. And they were saying, well, it could take a day or two after it stops snowing for them to clear the roads and that sort of thing. So you're here for a few days, and and it wasn't like we were fretting about it or anything like that. It was almost kind of fun, exploring this building and talking to the people. And it looked like it was a husband and wife kind of team, and they had friends and relatives there as well. And there was this one guy. I know that he was taller than me, and he kind of had a beard, but wasn't like long. It was kind of close to his face, darker hair, and his hair was about shoulder length. And he was very helpful, very, very helpful. And he kept saying to me like 3 times, now if you need anything, I got it. All you have to do is let me know. He says, I'm going to be leaving in a few hours. And he says, because I don't live very far from here. It's not going to take me very long to go, but I'm going to leave some things here for you in case you need them. And in fact, he says, they're in 2 different trunks. And he told me which room they were going to be in, and anything I needed out of there, just go ahead and take it. Right. And I was thanking him, but I think I got it. I think I'm okay. And I was talking to the older man and lady, the husband and wife team, and they opened up like a really wide door. And the husband was going to go out, like it was like in their backyard, but their backyard is like huge, right? And it opened up into like I could see a valley and mountains, and it felt like I was facing north. And I could see coming just over the mountain ridge was this storm. Had the dark clouds, and you could see the wind in the clouds, and they were dark, and so they looked definitely like snow clouds, but 10 times that. And the man goes, "Okay, we better get prepared, batten down the hatches," kind of thing, And Paul came up behind me and had his hands on my shoulders, and he says, "Okay, you ready?" And I said, "I guess so." And the guy that kept telling me that he was going to have the trunks, he came in again. He goes, "Now remember, anything you need, it's there for you. Don't worry about not using don't worry about using too much or too many or anything like that, because this is meant for you to use." It's like, "Oh, okay." And in my mind, I'm thinking, but what would I need out of there? What's even in there? And then my alarm goes off. And it was one of those times where you just want to go, just a few more minutes so I can finish whatever this is. But when I sat up, though, I started journaling it and writing it down. And as we were getting these cards, this dream is in the back of my mind. And on the 16th, or maybe it was the 17th, you guys, I shared with you that we were doing the ancestry.com, right? Not so much for the ancestry part or the, who you're related to kind of thing. Paul did. I didn't. Not so much for me. Mine is more of the genetic piece, because I want to connect with Bob Huntington to talk about the genes and the dirty genes and that kind of thing, right? But it surprised me. I expected, and it's true, it was, I think, 79% Native American, big surprise, right? What the surprise is that from the stories I've heard, is that I would have thought I would have had more French and more Spanish blood. But that's not the case. I actually have more Germanic blood. I think it was like 6%. 6%. I know that's not a lot, but still, 6%. And so and I think I shared that with you guys a couple days ago. And so it was a surprise. It wasn't a shock, but it was a surprise. And then my thoughts went back to this dream that I had, and the kind of building that it was, and the feeling that I had was more about like the Alps, or they didn't speak German or anything like that, but I really, getting prepared and for the change, whatever this storm is, this change that is on the horizon, on the mountain ridge, right? Because I can see it. I know it's coming. I can see it. And I'm prepared for it. I have a place to stay, a nice place to stay. I have nice people to be with. I have Paul with me, and I have very helpful people. And I have these 2 trunks of whatever it is that I need is there, and I can use as much or as many times as I need it. And so I'm prepared, right? And so I was thinking maybe it has, now I haven't had the chance to sit down or even to meditate on it or to travel to it. But I wanted to share it with you because I thought I thought it would be an interesting topic to share about because our dreams can help us a great deal. And here I am getting prepared for this lunar eclipse, and I really do believe that the information, ancestors that I didn't know about, specifically the German ancestors, and what wisdom that they hold for me, and to be able to tap into that ancestry that it goes way back, right? And what that is, and how that is going to apply to the present. How cool is that? How cool is that? Huh. All right, let's see. All right, so Julie's saying, I love reminders about grounding. Yes, Auntie Julie. George was here and George is gone. He was getting a little noisy, so Paul took him out. They're outside right now. Julie's saying, sounds like a spirit guide message. It does, doesn't it? That's how I took it. That the very helpful guy that said, I have these stuff for you. In fact, I'm going to leave them for you in 2 trunkfuls. He didn't say suitcases. He didn't say boxes. He said trunks. 2 trunks. No matter what you need, just use whatever is in there, as many times or as much as you need. They're here for you. Yeah. Hey, good one. Good one. Stephanie is talking to us about the upcoming items for Julie Hedges, her show on Monday, and also she's teaching a mini class for us on the 24th. Good one. And saying, no worries, you're prepared for all. Exactly. And even being in the kind of building, the structure, right? It was a stone structure. Now, it wasn't like cinder block. It was more rough than that, right? A stone structure. It wasn't huge like Buckingham Palace huge, but it was big. It was big. And you'd think that it would have been cold in there, but no, it wasn't. It was very pleasant in there. And the wife kept showing me around. She goes, oh, and over here we have, and she was showing me tapestries and showing me their dining room, which had a really big wooden table. It was quite big. And so you could probably seat, I don't know, more than 12 people at it for sure. It was big. All right. Stephanie's on it. She's telling us all about what's coming up this week. Thank you for doing that, Stephanie. Because I will tell people about it, but it's always nice to have it in writing in case you guys want to go back and say, what did she say? Oh, yeah, that's what that's about. And so I wanted to share that with you. That goes, that dream, and I had the dream, and then I got the Ancestry.com results and kind of pulled those 2 things together. Now, I don't know what this change is that's coming. It's on the horizon. Maybe it has to do with this eclipse. I don't know. But, the releasing and the healing, right? So, yeah, we'll have to wait for the rest of the story to unfold. But I also share this because I know that many of you have dreams too. Many of you have maybe not knowing what it is and how connecting, what does this mean, kind of thing. So I just wanted to share it with you. Yeah, and actually my team was guiding that. They said, oh, you got to tell them before Sunday, you got to tell them. So here we are. I shared it. So however that plays out for you, or whatever information that you need about that, you now have it. And we'll see how it plays out, right? So anything and everything that you heard today, if it resonated with you, please pick it up, embrace it, and notice how the energy unfolds for you today. If you're able to use it directly, or maybe you were a witness to it, right? In either case, it's good. It's a good thing. We're learning either way. If it didn't resonate, don't worry about it. You can just let it lie. There's always tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow's information will resonate with you. Yeah. And we have really cool things coming up this coming week for you. It's a very full week again for Star Nations and what we offer. Monday is Julie Hedges' show at 9 p.m. Eastern. And Julie is sharing about revolution, evolution. I like that. And the energy of the new year. And and so she's going to be talking about that with us. And that's at 9 p.m. Eastern. Paul Krause is on hiatus. He needed some time off because he's working on some of his own business stuff and needed a break to get his, as he put it, his mind around some things and to move things around. And he needed to focus on it. So he'll be back in he's hoping February, but it's possible he won't be back until March. And so we'll let you know about that though, okay? All right, so that's Monday. Tuesday at noon is Chakra Sessions with Polly Jo LeBay. And I forget what she's doing. Hang on. Hold the phone, Joan. I've got it right here. I just have to scroll down a little bit. And so anyway, her show, her live stream show is on Tuesdays at noon Eastern time. And she's talking about the Tree of Life energy. How we can use that information, that knowledge to expand our energy in a new and fuller ways. Now it's going to be another good one, huh? And then that evening at 8 p.m. Eastern is my weekly show, Communications from Home. And what I'm going to be sharing with you are about the medicine wheel and thoughts. And we kind of touched on it here today, but we're going to take it a little bit deeper on Tuesday night. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday is Soul Connections at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I feel like there's something before that. Why do I feel that? No, that was this past week. Okay, so Soul Connections with Polly Jo LeBay. That's an evening of divine healing and messages. So if you're looking at healing something, releasing something, you can come to that, and we do this individually with our own intentions with our spiritual teams, but it's a collective energy because we're doing this together. We're going through the same guided meditation to be able to do that work. It's pretty powerful. And then if you enjoy card reads, that is something that Polly Jo does on the second half. If I remember right, Julie Hedges is doing card reads too on Monday night. So you have at least 2 nights where you can get a card read if you like. On Thursday, the 24th, is Maureen Mann's first show for Angel Therapy. It's her debut, her premiere, and that's at 4 p.m. Eastern time. It's a brand new show. I hope you guys can join us for that. So you see, we have a lot going on next week. And we also have Julie Hedges. She's going to be doing a free mini class for us at Star Nations Academy closed group on the 24th, Thursday, at 8 p.m. Eastern. And so it's Tarot 101. And so she's going to explain to us the very basics of the tarot. And that idea came out of the afternoon live stream. So if you're not a member, because it's only for members of the closed group, if you're not a member, you can always ask to join. We'll get you set up, okay? All right. So, wow, that's a lot, isn't it? Rochelle says, thank you, Neshi. Good info. You're welcome. Julie Hill, Shamway Hill is saying, journaling the revelation for release tomorrow. Oh, good. Excellent. Excellent. And Stephanie is saying, is Moran's premiere show on the 23rd? No, it's on the 24th. Thursday, the 24th. Did I put the wrong date down? Could be. Something I'll have to fix if I did. Okay. All right. So enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's live stream at 3 p.m. Eastern, and the information around the cards drawn that morning. All right. So enjoy the rest of your day. Ba Mamina until we see each other again. I love you guys.